Please welcome Martin Habovstiak to talk about Lightning Network in Paralelna Polis.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, I am programmer, freedom lover, voluntarist, and I started programming when I was like 11 years old, and I got really enthusiastic about it, and it then progressed to me discovering security, cryptography, Bitcoin, freedom. And so I learned a lot during all these years, and I decided to like share my knowledge in this funny way. So if you ever want to ask me anything, you can like for 30,000 satoshis you can get answer to Bitcoin and programming questions, so micro consultation. But that's pretty much enough about me. But the important information about me is I co-founded Paralelna Polis Bratislava. Do you know what Paralelna Polis is, or have you been to Paralelní Polis? Awesome. There are some people who already been to. So Paralelna Polis is a space and a community that is focused on teaching people about Bitcoin, freedom, privacy, art, technology, science, and all these things. We are a very open-minded community, and we try to get people to try out new things, try out Bitcoin or something else. So that's what we do, and for this to work, we have a special place. And the concept originally started in Prague, where the place is somewhat bigger, but we later, when it was functioning in Prague, we decided to create another one in Bratislava. And so I co-founded this one. And so let's. First. I would like to like walk through like what is the experience of a newbie, maybe call him pre-coiner, when he enters this space. So when he enters, he sees space that looks like this, and he is practically immediately introduced to the fact that we reject fiat. So like he approaches this bar, and like when he wants to order the coffee, we have to tell him in front that we reject fiat, so that then he wouldn't be like pissed off that we scammed him. So uh, and horror and shock follows. And some of these pre-coiners try to convince us to accept fiat or something like that, but we say like no, never. And so the reason is because if we say like, okay, you will set up the wallet next time, no, they wouldn't. So like really, at least try it. So let's say this person decides to try it out and install a wallet. So what happens from time to time is this issue that sometimes people don't have enough space in their device. So if any one of you is a wallet developer, please, like take a look if there are some ways to decrease your storage consumption. That would be very helpful for Lightning wallets and for any other wallets. But this is not too common. So let's say this person doesn't experience it, but then he experiences another issue, and that is like the seed has 24 words. It's so horrible to write 24 words. I mean, we were like we were training writing whole at school, but suddenly 24 words are terrible. But yeah, some people are fine with that, but not everyone. And the thing is that 12 word seeds are good enough, and 24 words are only necessary for hardware wallets where you do not put the words directly into the hardware wallet, but you are putting them in random order to the computer. So 24 factorial versus 12 factorial. So normally, please, for phone mobile wallets, use 12 words. It's much better. So he writes down the seed and proceeds to buy something. And now the thing is, Lightning Network like is super great, and I totally want it to be used. But unfortunately, it's not really practical for this scenario, and the Bitcoin transactions are like the ATM makes them artificially costly. I mean, like yeah, it's debatable, but whatever. And also, waiting time is like of course, it's not the same waiting time, but the let's say that the feeling of waiting time is shorter for Litecoin. But it sometimes happens that people try to buy Litecoin on Bitcoin address, and unfortunately, before it was possible, so it was possible also to recover the funds, but not a very easy and pleasant experience. So, fortunately, that's currently fixed. So if you try it, you get error message like this. So there's good news, but we had like about maybe 10 people that like lost, not permanently, but temporarily lost access to their funds this way. So this is something to keep in mind, to like verify your addresses, verify what you are scanning, if the input is correct, and so on. And another funny thing is that sometimes this is the correct way to scan the QR code, but sometimes there is a glass, and sometimes people try to push the phone through the glass because they don't see it. So, it would be really nicer to scan the QR code from the device or the other way around. And this is the most important slide of this talk, I would say, like from these photos, and it is the waiting time. So yeah, Litecoin, it feels like faster than Bitcoin, but still it's much like people are pissed that they have to wait 2 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that. So yeah, shitcoins don't help solve this problem. Uh, um, it's still better than Bitcoin, but you know, like what the hell? And let's say that this person succeeds at buying coffee, great, and proceeds to pay. And suddenly he finds out that he cannot remember the password for the wallet. And here's the thing, if the person in question has already locked their whole phone, there is no additional security improvement in putting another password in the wallet, basically. Its security decrease because you are increasing the risk of loss of funds by forgetting password. So please, if you are a wallet developer, make passwords optional and maybe don't suggest them by default. I had discussion with Zap people on GitHub, and I think that the most reasonable way is to like show warning that phone lock is recommended and the password should be strong. So that's probably the most sensible way to approach it. So let's say that the person succeeded, but there is this issue that these payments take a lot of time. So what to do about it? And about a year ago, I was thinking about it, and I was brainstorming with Juraj Bednar, who is also co-founder of Paralelna Polis. And after some unsuccessful attempts at resolving this issue, he left. But it was still bothering me, so I was like thinking, and then I realized this simple idea that when you are opening a channel, you can unconditionally give away money in this transaction, or not maybe give away, but you could like take cash and open the channel. And the security assumption is the same as currently if you insert cash into the machine, you are trusting it to not steal your money to actually send the bitcoins. So the security assumption is the same. And the situation in this specific case is that this given away money should be already spendable, because there literally isn't any reason for you to wait for the channel to confirm, because you are the one paying the person that opened the channel with you, so you are decreasing your risk, and the person who opened the channel with their own input towards you, they have no risk. So it's totally unnecessary to wait. I published this idea on the website. Oh, also I wanted to talk about one more issue, and that is shitty wallets. Please don't use Coinbase to pay, and please don't use applications that don't support BIP21. Yes, there are dead bad applications. So I was thinking about this and published this idea, and the idea got the name Turbo Channel. And I don't know if you read who read this article. Okay, so there came out this article about this idea that Bitrefill made a business on this. Perfect. So yeah, everyone talks about turbo channels on this conference. Yeah, that's me. So hello, and this really kind of resolved some issues. I mean, like, it's still, for instance, unusable on iOS because this is the only wallet that supports it, and it's only available on Android. But the experience currently is really great because what I can do and what I do sometimes is I sell Bitcoin for cash, but the turbo channel Bitcoin. So someone gives me cash, I open turbo channels towards them, and they don't have to wait. It's not like so slow like shitcoin or Litecoin. You don't have to wait at all. In 2 seconds it opens, and then you proceed and pay whatever you want. So that is a really great experience. I highly recommend trying it out. And we use BTC Pay Server, of course. I don't know if there is anyone behind BTC Pay Server. I don't see anyone. If well, I guess I would like to thank them. Very neat stuff. If you ever want to accept Bitcoin, like, that's the solution number one, I would say. And this is the interface, how it looks like. We have our items here. We can click on them, and we can then proceed to pay. It works also with shitcoins, but of course we have a Lightning network by default on this because it's like the best way. It also helps us very much with this issue that if there are many people and they all pay with Litecoin, we still have to aggregate the transaction, and it takes a lot of time for the hardware wallet to compute this. And so like, shitcoins really aren't scaling technology, I would say. Like, there are other issues that people don't even talk about. And we have it on our website, and if you want, you can buy on this URL a recording of Giacomo Zucco about quantum computing. This is like probably the only English talk that we have available, unfortunately, but at least there is one, so if you want to try it out, you can find this awesome talk on our website. It's totally worth much more than 40,000 satoshis, so definitely check it out. And I think at the end I should add that we are throwing a halving party. Of course, when we'll be halving, we don't know, and that's the point. It will be a huge punk because, like, whoever of you is so enthusiastic about Bitcoin that you would arrange things to, like, attend even that you don't know exactly when is the date, do it. Basically, that's the whole point of this. So come to Bratislava, check out Paralelna Polis. You can, of course, come sooner if you are enthusiastic, and then we can meet again at the halving party and maybe at some other events we do, and so on. And we accept Lightning on practically everything we do. And if your channels are dead or something, you can also pay with on-chain Bitcoin. So that's pretty awesome, I think. And I must say that Lightning did bring us some problems, and the problems were not that much with failures. It was more about, like, making sure the LND works, it runs, and so on. But actually, it works pretty well. I'm kind of surprised at how often it works. But not that much even surprised, because many people who use these turbo channels go through my node, and I like really take care of my node and of mode of Paralelna Polis, and then it works. So what I would like to encourage you, if any one of you is running a routing node, please do take care of your node. You will make the experience of users much better, because for instance, you can pay in like 2 seconds in Paralelna Polis. If you are going through my node via turbo channels, it's like literally 2 seconds, no longer. And when I first set it up, it was 40 seconds. So what did I did? I checked it out, figure out that maybe the SD card is too slow, move the database to SSD, and suddenly it's 2 seconds. So things like that, you need to check your channels, whether they have enough liquidity. If it reaches a certain level, you should rebalance and so on. And when you really take care of it, then it works awesome. Like, the experience is so great that it beats anything else, but you really need to take care of it. So I think that's pretty important to say. And yeah, we have these experiences with on-chain wallets that I think they apply in many ways to or maybe I should say off Lightning and on Lightning. So they apply to on Lightning cases as well, about seeds and so on. So if you develop any application, please take a look at those issues. And if you ever want some help, like what is the more user-friendly way or something, feel free to write me either on LN Ask Me, or you can meet me. I will gladly provide some real-world data from complete new buys. So I think that is very important thing to do. So I don't know if we have any time for questions. Do we have any time? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention.